What if discomfort never goes away? What if this discomfort that motivates, that drives so much seeking, not just spiritual seeking, but all seeking, seeking comfort, seeking avoidance, seeking peace, sometimes seeking oblivion because of a inner discomfort, all of it predicated on the idea that discomfort is something that we don't want, that we shouldn't have, and that if only I could get rid of it, my life would be so much better. And so for so many, living in this hope of a future life that doesn't have discomfort in it is like something that is, sought or chased. But what I'm positing here is, what if that discomfort never goes away? And what if, actually, to take that a little bit further, what if the discomfort itself, rather than being a problem that needs to be resolved so that in the future, or when it's resolved, I'll be okay and I can get on with my life, but taking the analogy of the oyster and the pearl, what if the grit, this is serious, what if the grit of inner discomfort is there to keep you constantly growing, to keep you constantly developing, to keep you constantly maturing, to keep you constantly becoming the pearl? What if the discomfort is there for good reason, as a profound invitation to deepening, to maturing, to seeing if it is possible to view life in a very different way, to view your own life in a very different way, that stops simply seeking to get rid of discomfort and actually turns full circle and starts to accept and even love. Not necessarily liking, but loving the discomfort itself. That's a big one. So in that sense, you can see that rather than constantly trying to avoid ourselves and what we don't like to feel, we start to see that what we don't like and what we don't want to feel is actually part of our growth, part of our fundamental growth, and that on some level we can be thankful for it. This is a shift from unconscious avoidance or unconscious action driven by that discomfort to actually in and of itself becoming more conscious of what we're doing with our discomfort and developing the capacity to meet it with conscious awareness and say, okay, It's here, it's here, it's here. I'm going to see what I can do with it. I'm going to see if it can grow me. I'm going to see if I can accept it. And that's a powerful one. Let's see how it's such a shift of life, such a shift of energy, because it turns our energy from seeking to either avoid something or get over it or dismiss it or even fix it somewhere, usually in the future, to actually seeing what we can do now and now and now with it. And so it becomes a powerful teacher, a powerful guide. And let me read this. When I realized discomfort may never leave, I stood at a crossroads. Resist it for a lifetime, or turn toward it completely, without defense, without escape. I chose the second path. And in the space where struggle fell away, I found something unexpected, a quiet grace within all things, even this, even now. What if this discomfort never goes away? You see, in many ways, this is the hub of things, isn't it? It's kind of the bottom line of what we do with our discomfort. Never mind what the discomfort is, but what do we do with the fact of discomfort? I've got it written here, we try and fix it, suppress it. We distract ourselves from it. We seek the avoidance of it. We give it names. We explain it so well. The whole industry of therapy, of psychiatry, of psychiatry that is built on it. It's almost implicit in the human condition, but also implicit in the human condition unconsciously is the idea that we need to resolve our inner discomfort in order to live a better life. And my own experience of trying to avoid discomfort is that it's a hiding to nothing. It also doesn't mean that you have to be a slave of discomfort, in bondage to discomfort. It's certainly not on that level. In fact, it's the opposite. It's becoming a master of one's discomfort. It's becoming a warrior of one's discomfort, of growing more mature than one's discomfort, of seeing the discomfort, of seeing the discomfort as not the essential truth of who we are, of growing bigger than our discomfort, rather than being, squeezed by our discomfort, by letting it define us. And this is certainly not a call to bypassing. This is a call to somewhere very, very different from bypassing. But it's a very simple thing to actually reframe, to stop seeing the discomfort that we feel, whatever the cause, the discomfort that we feel, to stop imagining that when it goes away, everything's going to be perfect. And it's a complete turnaround from that to say, what would I do? Who would I be? How would I deal with this? I don't mean folding in resignation, man. Far from it. This is the path of freedom that I'm talking about, the path of liberation from oneself, that I'm talking about. So don't get it mixed up with resignation. Who would I be if I saw and realized that this discomfort might never go away? Could I see that actually it's incumbent upon me and I have the capacity to say, yes, okay, I'm going to live with this, not as a hair shirt, not as a big bag of woes, because that's what you have been doing. That's what most people are doing. A big bag of woes of my discomfort. Oh, well, I'll just better live with it then if it won't ever go away. I'm absolutely 100% not saying that. I'm saying that you can learn to live realizing that the discomfort is the grit that is driving the growth, the deepening, the movement towards equanimity. And it's not doing it in some theoretical way, it's doing it all the time. Whenever discomfort arises, a lot of people, discomfort arises, especially these days, discomfort arises all the time. Every day there's some discomfort because we're biorhythmic beings. We're going to get rising of comfort, rising of a good thought, rising of an emotional thought, rising of a down moment. The wave goes like this, the wave is waving. So inevitably we're going to have down moments. Some of them can be anxious, some of them can be hot, some of them can be fearful, some of them have the past, some of them are unresolved issues. All of this stuff, the whole of the human condition is included in this. But what if that discomfort, a primal discomfort, if you like, doesn't go away? Is it going to drive you, downwards? Or is it going to somehow open up into this deeper acceptance? You see, I found for myself, I kind of speak from experience here, because I've experienced discomfort all my life. And it really came to me. It really dawned on me, maybe slowly, but it dawned on me that it's up to me to grow beyond my discomfort. Not by thinking it was going to go away, but by actually looking at the discomfort as it's rising up and to see if it has any veracity, to see if it has any truth, to see if it's just the endless playing out of a neurotic mind, to see if it's just the endless playing out of patterns, that I'd like to, see finished, but they won't be finished. Is it possible for me to deepen into that equanimity, not to hold the world in a deeper embrace, but actually to hold even my own discomfort in a deeper embrace as it rises up? And I chose that. I just chose that. And now, it doesn't really happen so much, but if it does, then I do the same thing. I stop seeing it as being a problem that I need to fix. And I see it as a doorway that leads me to a deeper equanimity and acceptance. Even this, I say, even this discomfort. And something changes in the instant. something changes. This is a live, what I'm talking about is not a theoretical kind of questioning, but actually a live inquiry as it comes up. As discomfort arises, ask yourself deeper and deeper questions. That's what I'm inviting.